Hello and welcome. What you're looking at is a door check from a 1991 Jeep Cherokee, the passenger side. Of course, these are interchangeable between the two sides, passenger and drivers. For the front, if you got the two in the back, those are separate. So I recently picked this up at a junkyard, and it was working okay. So I'm assuming you're one of the poor suckers that has an old vehicle that you have to maintain and fix and repair. Well, I hear you, brothers and sisters, because I have to do the same thing as well too. This is my 1990 Jeep Cherokee, and I have the driver's side door check that needs to be replaced, just like everybody else's. Of course, all the other doors, they get rarely used, so they don't fail as soon as these do, because these are used all the time. You can buy these online brand new. I've seen prices from 50-ish on Rock Auto to almost 100 on Amazon. That's a doorman part. I don't have the number handy, but let's just take a look, wander over to the door here, show you what the issue is. So what the door check does, keeps your door in a nice solid state. This guy here is just kind of wavering in the wind, nothing holding it back, no resistance. So that's what the door check does. Keeps it from opening too much and from easily closing. So if we take a look, that's the guy right there. So this one isn't crackling or popping. You'll hear that if that bracket there gets a little worn, and then the pin just kind of jumps around there, and that's where you hear that popping and whatnot. I have that actually on the other door on the passenger, but otherwise door check itself, it's just not providing any resistance, so I don't even know what's on the inside there. So there's actually just a two. I'm just looking in my viewfinder here. I see there's only one. Those two nuts, so obviously there's something wrong with that door check. So, in my case here, I'll have to pull off this door panel. There's a couple screws here, and it just tilts up. And then there's 3 screws here. Take those off, and then there'll be the weather stripping. So let me do that, and let's take a closer look at what we got to work with. The door panel is off, and we get to take a closer look. I guess while you have all this off, you get to check on a few things here. And I guess one thing you can check on is your speaker. I didn't think it was shot. I was assuming that there was maybe something amiss with it, or just wasn't handling, but I didn't think it was this bad. I just replaced the one on the passenger side, so I ordered another one. And luckily I've got that guy here, so you get to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I got that off eBay for a little over $10, shipped free from the US source. So if you're viewing this video and you need a speaker, can't top that, not even buying locally. So that speaker's coming out anyways, and if you take a look up here, getting back on topic, here's our door check. So what do we have for access points? Got it here, but since I'm pulling this speaker out, that's probably the closest one, so that's going to give me closest access to it to put the new one in. So let me get that speaker out, and continue on. Okay, so before I do anything, I've got to get that pin out. So you need to get that out from the bottom. I'm not sure if this little hammer will do it. We'll give her a shot. I know that pin is almost falling out and I have to knock it in. So we'll see how he's sitting in there nicely. You'll see how difficult he wants to make his life. Okay, that came out. See if I can use my hand on that. I don't think so. Okay, I'm gonna have to get a tooth puller and see what I can do. Voila! Have to get some pliers to pull that out. Hey, I can be a dentist too. Looking closer at that bracket, it doesn't appear to be rounded out in any way up here from what I can see. So that's why I'm not getting any of the popping or crackling. And I'm not seeing that pin jump around, so I think this bracket is okay. Next time I go to the junkyard though, I'm going to make sure I pull that bracket as well too, and keep that in my parts bin. You know, I didn't even take that other nut out, and this whole thing's just falling apart. Look at that whole one ear is broken right off. I have no idea when that occurred. This vehicle's 26 years old. So I'm finally getting around to this particular part. Let's go take a look at my replacement. Seems to be some difference. Don't have this big rubber piece. I know that I was looking at the specs on the doorman, and it said the door check is for model years for a decade and a decade and a half of Jeep Cherokees from late 80s to a little over 2000. Things haven't changed, so I'm thinking that was just a cost cutting measure, because this is 1990 and this is 91. Well, it sure as heck wasn't doing me anything. I can see I didn't even take that nut off and it just slid right off. So okay, well let's put this guy in. Well, I had to fight with that other ear that broke off. It was still stuck in there, and eventually ended up breaking that nut right off, and the stud as well too. So, and then the whole thing fell out. So that so far has been the the longest that I've had to spend so far. You never know what happens, just like in any project once you start delving in and ripping things apart. Okay, I put a little anti-seize on those threads, and let's go put this guy in. Actually, you know, going through the speaker here, probably the way to do this. Voila! Trying to do this camera in one hand. There we go. Okay, see now that there's 2 studs. Gonna have to put the camera down and do that. I don't have a helper here. And put that pin in. Houston, we have a problem. Looking at that, that doesn't look good, does it? The actual steel frame of that door has been ripped apart. Wow. I've got I'm gonna see if I can JB weld that up, or a real welder, or a new door. Those look like the 3 solutions. Well, I'm gonna try the JB weld option and see how that goes. Okay, so what I did on the bottom hole there, it was there was a chunk of metal there just hanging on by a thread. So I used some JB weld there, and I JB welded that piece. So on its own, there's no way that would hold with all the torque that's going on there. So it's basically just a spot to provide some base, and then what I plan on doing is using a stainless steel washer here, and hopefully, you know, that's going to do the job. So I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Okay, that tightened up nice. Let's drop the pin in. Okay, the pin is in. Moment of truth. Well, I definitely have some tension on the door, which I haven't had for a while. That pin looks pretty good. How does that look? Hasn't broken through. I think that might just do her. I'm going to give it a Full door closure. Wow, there's definitely some tension on that door. I haven't experienced that for quite a while. Well, worked there. Time will tell. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, well, I guess that's the end of this video. That was the main topic. You got a bonus on this speaker removal and installation. So I'll put that all back together and keep on trucking. Keep this 1990 Jeep Cherokee Remix going. Thanks all for watching. See you next time.